Hey YouTube, no chapstick because as you see we got things going on today. And tagged me in a tag video. Listen, I think it was like 173 questions. I picked out 10. And so, ones that I thought would be short, quick, and easy to do. And some of them you can call them cheats and you'll see why. Okay, the first question I looked at, or I should say the first question I chose, was my shoe size. This is going to be interesting. And this is true. One foot is a 10 wide. My other foot is a 10.5 regular. That's true. And since I can't usually find 10.5s, I go with 11s. And then one foot, the size 10 foot, is just too big. Yeah. Another question, do you have a birthmark? I do have a birthmark. I cannot tell you exactly what it looks like because it's on the back side of my right butt cheek. And so I can't really see it to see what it is. And when I saw this question, it dawned on me that I never thought to take a picture of it to see what it looks like. So when I look back, look back at it. Ow. So yeah, I can see it's a mark there and it's always been there. I just can't describe it to you. And I'm not going to show you. This is not that kind of channel. No. Do I have any pets? Yes, they're my stuffies. And I have a whole video dedicated to showing you my stuffies and why they're my stuffies and the purpose that they serve in my life. I will put that up here in the cards for you to see. Do I have scars? Yes, I do have a scar. And I showed in a video when I was stalling, I think it was the Beauty Bio eye mask things. Installing because you're supposed to leave them for 10 minutes. I showed y'all the scar on the back of my head that you can see because my hair is so short. When I was little, way little, jumping up and down on the bed, slip, boom, cracked my head on a radiator. Back in the olden times when they had those metal radiators that were attached to, the wall. Yeah, the back of my head landed on that and it bust my head open, hospital trip, shaved my head, stitches, all of that. And I didn't say all of that in the video. I just said I bust my head on a radiator, but that was the story. And I think I was less than 5 years old. And the only thing I remember was hearing this loud buzzing sound and me crying because it was very painful. I don't remember falling. I remember jumping up and down on the bed because what kid doesn't jump up and down on the bed, either playing with their parent or their siblings. But so that was that, and maybe that's what's wrong with me, mentally, because I bust my head open. So maybe something, I don't know. Something I was teased about as a kid. Switched schools in 8th grade in the middle of the year. So started 8th grade, Christmas break, moved January, went to a whole new school. Okay, it's hard enough fitting in, and I never really fit in. Seriously, I just didn't. I was always different. Imagine that, me different? What? Yeah. They called me Snoopy because as a person of color, I'm light skinned and I got a big ass nose. And so they called me Snoopy. I didn't know it then, but I know it now in this reverse psychology. They'd be like, hey, Snoopy, what's up? I'd be like, hey, how you doing? And they'd be like, oh my gosh, she answered to it. And then it wasn't fun for them anymore to tease me about it because it didn't bother me. So after a while, they stopped calling me Snoopy because it wasn't fun for them. So if somebody teased me about something, just play it off and laugh with them because then they won't know what to do. If you're not offended or your feelings aren't hurt, that takes the joy out of it. And so somewhere in my mind, even after busting my head open, I knew that. Maybe it made me smarter. Maybe it jogged something in place. Jostled something in place? Because jog is when you're running, right? Let me get back to the questions. And so, yeah, so even then, I was just whatever. Because I already knew I'd never really fit in. So it was just whatever. It wasn't anything new for people not to like me or to want to be my friend or whatever. So I was just okay, whatever. Another question, favorite slang word. I don't think I have a favorite slang word because I speak Ebonics and troll most of the time anyway. I do know I say a lot when I'm doing videos because I'm trying to think of a way to say what it is I want to say in a way that'll make sense. But that's not even a slang word. That's just a filler sound from one sentence to the next sentence. Yeah, so I don't have, yeah, I just did it, right? I don't have a favorite slang word. because I don't speak proper English anyway. Next question. Have I ever been in a play? Again, in middle school. I was in a play. I was in a Cinderella play. I was one of the mean stepsisters. Did y'all hear that? That was my throat. It went. Yeah, I was one of the mean stepsisters. And I remember this because it was an accident that turned to be funny. So it was a part of the scene. It was a scene in the play when the stepsisters. I had Mountain Dew before this video, and which was before this one. So when the stepsisters were trying to fit their foot in the shoe that really belonged to Cinderella, and of course we know the shoe didn't fit them because it wasn't theirs. Now keep in mind, I've always had big feet. Even in junior high school, I wore like a 9 and then a 10. So I've always had big feet. So they gave me this shoe, and I'm like, so during rehearsal, I'm sitting in a fold-up chair next to the other stepsister because it's rehearsal. So you're just sitting there and you're doing your thing, right? And I'm trying to put the shoe on, and I slipped and fell out of the chair. Everybody in rehearsal bust out laughing, and I'm thinking, does anybody care, like, if I'm hurt? And so the person that was doing the play was like, keep that in when we do the play. And I'm just like, that was an accident and I got hurt. But I was a kid. I did what I was told, you know, middle school, 8th grade. And so when we actually did the play, you know, I faked slipped and fell onto the floor. Because it really wasn't a slip like in rehearsal. Like that was a real slip. Because my hips was too big for the stool. I've always been chunky too. Okay, so thank you, Anne, for that memory, because I had forgot all about that. And I saw that question. I'm like, I was in a play. And they didn't care that I fell and wanted me to do it again. Good thing is, though, when we did the play and I faked like I slipped and I fell out the chair, the whole room erupted in laughter. And I didn't care because I wasn't hurt because I did it on purpose that time. But rehearsal, I'm like, y'all don't, like, is anybody going to be like, are you okay? Can we help you up? Maybe they thought I was just acting, but no, that was for real in rehearsal. The next question, allergies, yes. Where do I start? Y'all, the most weird, I think, avocado. One of the B vitamins, I don't know which one, but if I take a B vitamin complex supplement, I break out in hives. If I eat avocado, I break out in hives. If I eat blueberries, I break out in hives. Just give me a Snickers and a Mountain Dew and I'm cool. My system also does not tolerate artificial sweetener. Cramps the hell out of my stomach, very excruciating. And a bunch of other allergies, skin, makeup, foods, medications. Yeah. Where am I at? Sports that I played growing up. This was so much fun, and then it was disappointing. Okay, growing up in the inner city, initially I didn't play sports. When we moved to the suburb type area, better school district, it was a mixed population. They had field hockey. I was like, what is field hockey? And when I moved back to the inner city, they were like, what's field hockey? Like, that's not an inner city thing. And I was good at field hockey. I was so good at it. I think this was 7th grade. I was so good at playing center and field hockey. I friggin' loved it. Home life situations with the parents. Moved back to the inner city. No field hockey. I was crushed. Because that was like something that I was introduced to that I was good at. And I've always been clumsy, uncoordinated. And so to have a sport that they had me try and I was good at it, that was significant. They had me try to play basketball when I was in like 6th grade because I've always been tall for a girl. And so they thought, oh, she's tall, she could play. And I'm like, I'm uncoordinated, I can't play. And I didn't know it then, but I needed glasses. Didn't figure that out until like my late teens. And so I really couldn't see far. still can't without my glasses on. Or if I have my contacts in, that helps me see distance. But they were like, so they tried to force me to play basketball. So they're like, here, just shoot the hoop. I threw the ball, and they were like, the hoop is over there. I said, yeah, I know. I'm like, I said, I told y'all I cannot play basketball. But it turns out it was a vision thing. I couldn't, you know, when you have trouble seeing distance, things just look blurry and then it blends together. So yeah, I can say, oh yeah, the hoop's over there, but when I go to shoot it, it goes somewhere else. Like, so okay, that was like the one and only time they had me try out for basketball. But I was really good at field hockey. Moved back to the inner city, no field hockey. I was just like, damn. Because then too, I was being social. I was meeting people, making friends, playing sports, and then it's like, moved back to the inner city, all that was over. So what I did was I tried out for color guard, and we got to carry a fake rifle. So maybe that's where the military stuff came in. And if you watch, I'm not going to say football halftime, but you see the people marching on the field, and you might see the ones with the fake guns, and they twirling them and tossing them up and throwing them. I was able to do that, even though I was uncoordinated and clumsy. So I don't know how that happened. And maybe because I was marching, so I was like focused on keeping the beat versus the motions. Just like how the collab video with Charmaine, and I was like, Janelle Monáe be like, she just be rolling. And then I'd be like, okay, wait, what? As long as I don't think about it, I be getting my groove on. But then when I think about it, I'm like, like I just get thrown off. And so I think that's what it was with the marching and twirling the guns, or the fake rifle, catching it, and you doing all types of stuff behind your back. Like, I was really good at that too. I was still upset they didn't have field hockey, but you know, doing a color guard thing, you wear your cute little uniform, which wasn't cute and little on me because I was chunky. So it was just like, can y'all give her a bigger size? Because and the boots was white. When you wear size 10 and you wearing white boots, it looks like a size 14. Like, that wasn't cute. That uniform was not cute on me. But anyway, that's not the question. So what's the the next question? We're going to do, what did I want to be when I grow up? And actually, I think I picked 11 questions. What I wanted to be when I grew up was a doctor. And I only knew doctors to be medical doctors. And so it was ironic when I got older and I ended up being a doctor anyway, having a doctorate in psychology. So that was just kind of ironic. The last question I picked was, do you believe in ghosts? I don't believe in ghosts per se, but I do believe in the spiritual realm. I do believe there are other entities and other beings other than human beings, and those of the pet species. And so I do believe there are spiritual beings. Ghosts, whatever you want to call them, entities, whatever you want to call them. But I do believe there is something other than us here. So that is it for the questions I'm answering. Like I said, it was like 197.5 of them. I know I said 173 earlier. It was a lot of questions, y'all, so I just picked a few. But thank you, Anne, for tagging me. And this was fun for me. I hope it was entertaining for you. Feel free. Woo. I will link Anne's video below. So if you are interested in doing this, you can see all 269 questions and pick which one you want to do. And I will link unboxings with Arlene. I believe that's the name of her channel. Her name is Arlene. She's the one who tagged Anne. And so I'll link Arlene's video as well. So if you want to do this, you're free to do it. If you want to just laugh with me at some of my answers or put some of your answers below, you can do that as well. And that'll be it for this video, and you will see me in the next one. Thank you. Why do I always say thank you? I feel like the Kardashians when I do that, like how they always in their sentences and their voices go down. I think that's just weird, but then I'm weird. So let's try this. Thank you for being here, and you will see me in the next video. That was weird too.